Don't think you can get any better than that from Lankinen in a shutout. His first of the season, 9.5 out of 10 for Lankinen. Hello, welcome back. Let's review the Canucks against Philly on October 19th. Canucks won 3-0 in Philadelphia. Let's discuss the lineups coming into this game. Some big changes up on the first line. Archie Baines was dropped. Jake DeBrusk promoted to line with JT and Brock Besser. As well on the second line, Garland was on with Pedersen and Höglander again. And Daniel Sprong was brought into the lineup as facilitated by Baines being dropped. And he was on the fourth line with Suter and Amon. In defense, as we saw later in the Tampa Bay game, Soucy continued to be partnering Myers like old, and Myers was celebrating his 1,000th NHL game. Brannstrom was therefore demoted to the third pair with Vincent Desharnais. Something to note as well is JT Miller picked up a supposed shoulder injury after his first shift, and this game the power play continued to struggle. JT did come back into the lineup, but the rest of the game you can see that he was nursing something. So a game overview. Höglander opened the scoring. Brock and Kiefer Sherwood scored within a minute of each other, and that was in the second period. First star of the game was no doubt Lankinen in goal with 26 saves on 26 shots in the Wells Fargo Center. The Flyers were very quiet. Samuel Earlson still had a pretty decent game with 29 saves on 32 shots, above 900 save percentage. And Sanheim, Tippett, and Frost had over 4 shots. Let's review the goal simulations. First one was Höglander, as I mentioned. Assist was from Pedersen and Garland. This all comes down to Garland's heads-up play. Hronek plays it in deep. Eyes to have PD in mind there, and PD sees Höglander for an easy finish there. Over to Brock's goal, assisted by Myers on his 1,000th game. You see here Myers coming in, the defender, up in there, and speaking of heads-up play, he backhands it to Besser, who backhands it himself into goal, and that is the second goal. And the last goal was Kiefer Sherwood, and this was straight off the draw. As you'll see here, Bluger wins it, and a nice wrister from Kiefer right there. Caught everybody off guard, but good play there. 3-0. Let's do a review and player ratings. Teddy Bluger, on the faceoff as we just saw, assisted Sherwood. I give him an 8 this game. Brock, with his goal, I give him an 8.5. DeBrusk, although quiet, had a really good game. I'll give him an 8. Garland, still been putting out and being Canucks' best player so far this season. I give him an 8.5 for this performance. Höglander, as we saw, he scored. I'll give him an 8.5. Tyler Myers on his 1,000th game. We'll give Myers a nice 8.5 for his heads-up play for the assist on Besser's goal. Petey, although very quiet, he did contribute, as we saw with the assist. He did put in some hits, got a penalty. He looked a little bit in it, so I'll give him a 7.5, but still we want more from Petey there. Sherwood had a phenomenal game, probably his best game in the colors. Give Sherwood a 9. Niels Omon was filling in for an injured JT throughout the game for faceoffs. So he did pretty good. I'll give him an 8.5. Brannstrom in defense, I think all the defense had a phenomenal game. We'll give them 8s all around for their shutout, as well as Desharnais. Heinen was quiet. I'll give him a 7.5. Hronek, 8, as I said. Quinn Hughes, 8. JT, we saw him go off with an injury. He did have a quiet game for the rest of it, so we'll give him a 7.5. He was not taking any further faceoffs after his first shift. Soucy, we'll give him an 8. Spronger, quiet with 4 shots. We'll give him a 7.5. And Suter on the penalty kill was pretty decent. The Canucks killed off 3 penalties, one of which was a double minor on Brock Besser. So we'll give Suter an 8 for that. And lastly, don't think you can get any better than that from Lankinen in a shutout. His first of the season, 9.5 out of 10 for Lankinen. And we'll wrap up the video looking at the standings. Eastern Conference, Western Conference. The Winnipeg Jets are in the lead in the Western with 5 wins on the bounce. Canucks are roughly in the middle with after starting the season with 3 losses, back-to-back wins on the road. And their next up is Chicago Blackhawks, who have started even worse than the Canucks, playing 1 more game. See how that goes. And it's good to see that the Canucks are somewhat better and they're looking better as a team. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this little review of the Canucks game against Philly on October 19th.